there guys, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a review of the Orc and Goblin book. This is something where, I set him out of fantasy, but now this 9th age is here. And, we got Once Bitten going back into it, you got Sustainable Center going back into it, so I figured the least I should do is go and review the Orc and Goblin book. Now, a review might even be the wrong type of term for it. It's going to be more of a reaction. I gotta say that I have not gone through all the rules, or even 9th. I skimmed through, saw what they were. At that point, there's been a revision since then, and really I'm just going to be more focusing on the Orc and Goblin book and making the assumption that it's being played with 8th. So I'm sure there's things I'm going to be saying which are completely wrong. So it's going to be more of a reaction thing. If you were trying to get a more detailed, this is what you should take and these are the tactics, I'm sure there's lots of other channels out there for it. But for some nostalgia and so for some good times, I thought, hey, let's grab a beer, let's load it up here and just go through it. So at this point now, I have not looked through it. I know it exists. Like I said, when 9th Age first came out, I went and I skimmed through the rules, thought, okay, yeah, it's pretty much 8th. I want to see if they changed a lot of stuff, or if it was more like 7th, but it's more like 8th. And now I'm going to be taking that, loading up the Orc and Goblin book, and giving it a look through here. So I don't even know how big this thing is. Hopefully it's not like hundreds and hundreds of pages. My battery wouldn't last that long. Let's see, while it's loading up, 26 pages, not too bad. I'm sure there's going to be, what is it, the fluff in the beginning and the rules after? Not so much. The edition I'm doing right now is the Fantasy Battles, the 9th Age, Orcs and Goblins, Army Rules, version 9.1 beta. So apparently, I mean, this is something where people are going to keep on working on them, and it's just interesting to see where other people will take this. So let's see what crazy stuff they have here. So first thing, they have the Army Special Rules, green hide races. So instead of green skins, it's green hide. I know there's have to make some changes for the whole GW thing, but well, apparently from what I hear too, they're not even going to go completely away from orcs and call them something else silly. So yeah, whatever. Either way, we're all about orcs and goblins here. So different models in the army have a specific set of special rules depending on their race. So they have common orcs, which are unruly and born to fight. Iron orcs, which I assume are like the black orcs, which are born to fight, weapon masters, and immune to psychology. There's Neander orc, which I assume are like the savage orcs. And these ones here are unruly, born to fight, frenzy, ward save 6, may use an additional hand weapon if mounted. And then there's common goblins. These are insignificant and unruly. Cave goblins, I wonder what those are supposed to be. Insignificant, unruly, and hatred. Oh, those are night goblins. How did I not know what those are all about? And of course, yeah, hatred towards the dwarves. And then the forest goblins. Insignificant, unruly, and strider for forests. So again, I know there's some things changed here, but most of it you can see where they're going from with 8th year in mind. So now we're going to get into the actual rules here of what these actually do. So the first one here is unruly. Unruly units have -1 leadership to rolls on the following tests: Restrain Frenzy, Restrain Pursuit. In addition, if in horde formation, roll 3 dice for panic tests and discard the highest. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So if they're, the more they have, the more the tougher it will be for them to fail, panic, and break. So I like that. That's good. This is a thing where the leadership tests, which are based on, hey, we want to get in there, we want to fight. Okay, those are at -1, but hey, the whole idea of like taking some damage when you're a big old group, then that minus leadership is not the biggest deal if in horde formation. So yeah, they still kept that horde formation there as well. Born to fight. Models or parts of them with this special rule have +1 strength until they lose or draw a combat. That's nice. So wait, who'd they give those to? Born to Fight. I didn't. Oh no, those are the. All the orcs. All the orcs have this. So it's basically like a chopper rule, where before it'd be, well, before it was like when they charged, or in the last one it was like the first round of combat. Now they just have it till they lose. So I like that. That's another nice one where it's not just even about the big rush. That was always kind of disappointing before, where your orcs would go in, you'd have one good round, and that's kind of it. I like this, where they keep it until they actually lose or draw a round of combat. So that's pretty nice. Mark of the Boss. Up to 1 unit with this special rule army. And who had Mark of the Boss? I don't remember hearing that one. That must be one that's going to come on to rulers or something. Your war bosses. That has the same green hide race as the general may take a magical banner worth 25 points. Okay. That's a nice thing where if you take a unit that's the same type of your boss, one of them gets a banner. So that's okay, that's nice. Once per game, a model with this special rule that's in this army's general, that is once per game. This is probably these reaction videos. If I stumble and I sound like an idiot, we keep it. This is a one take. Okay, once per game, a model with this special rule, that is, the army's general, may declare a war at the start of their turn. All models in the army belonging to any green hide race, I'm just going to start calling these guys greenskins, gain the devastating charge and swift stride special rules until the end of the turn. And I can see here where they changed it from last time, where it used to say if the unit charges, it adds the amount of inches equal to its rank bonus. Why'd they take that away? So, I mean, it's nice that they got the devastating charge and the swift stride. I guess maybe that's going to be enough. They probably had first to add these extra inches and then found it was just too much, you know, that these things are moving as fast as cav. So, you know, I'd actually rather have that. I'd rather have it so it's getting the extra inches based on the ranks, as opposed to having, say, like the swift stride rule. Take that out. Maybe even just take both out, the devastating charge and the swift stride, and it's really just a big thing like, hey, we should have these big units, let's all go wah. But then again, that doesn't help if you have cav or anything else like that, so I guess you do still want devastating charge for the ones that don't. So I guess you do need kind of a mix, but I definitely would rather see the rank-based thing than the swift stride. But either way, beware the sting. Nominate one attack of the model with the special rule before rolling the hit. This one has multiple wounds ordinance. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming this is on like the Ragnarok or whatever like that. Green Tide. Model and all goblins with the same green hide race in its unit gain fight in extra rank special rule. Oh, okay, so let's use attack in extra rank. Okay, that makes sense. Symbolic X mode? What's shambolic? I don't know. I have no idea what this is talking about. So this one here says units with this special rule follow the random movement. Oh, okay. So it's like shambling around, shambolic. Okay, that's what they're talking about. Shambolic units are immune to psychology and cannot be joined by characters, so it's for like your squig hopper, stuff like that. In such unit rolls for its random movement and all the dice show the same result. It takes, and if it rolls the same, it takes D3 wounds. Oh, okay, alright. They have two different types. Either you can be running amok or be steady. If you're amok, that means that units with this always move in a randomized direction during its random movement. Or if you're steady, units with this may re-roll the random movement distance roll but must keep the second one. Why would you ever want to be doing the first one? So the first one, the running amok, you either move always move in a random direction, or you go steady, and then you may re-roll the random movement distance. You would think that maybe steady meant that you have to also go straight, but it seems here that why would you not go steady? There must be something else to this, which you have to go amok or something like that I'm not catching right now. Bouncy. Bounce units may move through friendly units during their move. If a bounce unit would end its movement inside friendly unit without also being in contact with an enemy unit, backtracking along its path until its legal position. Bounce units do not count as contacting terrain unless they begin or end their movement on it, but bounce units are still blocked by impassable terrain. So that's cool. So these bouncy things, like your squig hoppers, I assume, and stuff, can actually move through your units. So that's kind of neat. You know, they can stay safe behind their units and kind of like jump through after. So that's neat. Deadly Menace X. I always like this X added at the end here. It makes it just sound like something special. Anyway, Deadly Menace models ignore the 1-inch unit spacing rule. Oh yeah, because everything's spaced out now. Oh, that's probably just, no, that's probably not like 40k type spacing or whatever. That's probably just between the units, I assume. During their random movement, if a Deadly Menace model touches another unit, friend or foe, and continues moving in the same direction until it's 1 inch clear of it, if this would cause it to contact a third unit, it keeps on moving through them and must be eventually be moved 1 inch past whatever. Any units passed through with this during this random movement suffer X hits, where X is the given in brackets. Oh, okay, so this is like the not the squig hoppers, but like the mangler, where it actually like goes through killing stuff. So that's what how they did this one. They also get all hits inflicted by Deadly Menace models are at unmodified strength of the model and are armor piercing. So a little bit of extra something there. Accident prone. This sounds like an Orc and Goblin rule. When accident-prone models contact any terrain feature, you just know, okay, this will be like a roll of 1, you fall over. Except open or hills, contact borders, or stop 1 inch away from impassable terrain, they must take a dangerous terrain test, which is failed on a 1 or a 2. If 2 accident-prone units touch each other, they are both removed as casualties. So I wonder what these are, if it is just like giants or if it's something else. But if you have 2 coming together, I hope that's not giants. If you have like 2 giants touch, it's like, oh, you're dead. That'd be horrendous. This must be things more like fanatics or something. But yeah, you know, you gotta have something there for your giants falling over. Armory, other equipment. This doesn't look like it's very long. Wow, only 2 items. Power mushrooms. Generate D3 plus 1 power mushrooms at the end of deployment. A single power mushroom can be used once per spell and adds D3 to the casting result. If this die rolls a natural 1, the wizard takes a strength 3 hit with armor piercing 6. So, again, I don't really understand the full thing of the magic phase, but still, this seems like, okay, sure, this is like the magic mushrooms you had before with your night goblin shaman, stuff like that. Huge Impaler. Okay, there you go. You know what this is going to be. That's going to be the big thing that the Savage Orcs are holding. Unit with at least 1 full rank on charge inflicts D3 impact hits at strength 5, multiple wounds, ordnance, large targets. This ordnance thing, is that just saying what it has to be on? But either way, I don't know if this has changed, but I remember the Huge Impaler, or whatever it was called before, wasn't all that important because you only got it on the charge. Yeah, only on the charge. So it's really, you have to really make sure you get that. And then like D3 hits, if it's anything like it was before, it's still like, so maybe you automatically come with these Huge Impalers now. That'd be nice. But let's find out. We're down to magic items now. Okay, here we got more of these things happening. Wrath Axe of the Final Horde, 75 points, orcs only. Hand weapon, wielder gets plus D6 strength, plus D6 attacks. Okay, we know what this thing is. The wearer also suffers hits. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is not what I thought it was. I thought I was thinking like the battle axe of the last war or whatever, but the wearer also suffers hits equal to half the attack bonus rounded up at strength 4. Okay, well, I'm assuming your guys are still toughness 5, so, I mean, it's only wounding on 5s, and you still have your armor saves. These hits don't benefit from any special rules, such as flaming, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so, okay, so you get all this stuff, but you get hurt back. You know, I like that better than, like, the last Battle Axe of the Last Wa, where you lost weapon skill, so it got a little bit dumb because, like, I'm super powerful, but I just can't hit. This one here, I'm super powerful, but I get hurt, or have the potential to get hurt. You know what? I think I like this better. This is more orky. I mean, having this super cool killy thing that might also kill you, I could see that. Backstabbing Dirks, 15 points, goblins only. Additional hand weapon, attacks made this with his weapon have armor piercing. If wielder is attacking an enemy unit in the flank or rear, attacks with this weapon are made at +2. Okay, this is like something you've had before. Not really the biggest thing. Probably won't ever be taken. Plates of Lork. Oh, Gork and Mork got changed to like Lork or something. Ugh. Okay, whatever. It's heavy armor that gives you +1 toughness, and then the impact hits. Okay, this is the armor of Gork, what it used to be, but now it's Lork. But anyway, yeah, +1 toughness is always good. I wonder how many magic points each person gets up to now. So clearly you can't take, if it's 100, cap like before, you can't take that axe and the toughness. So you're only being hurt on a 6. But okay, Hat of 9 Caves. I really wish they could have just kept the old terms, because you kind of keep on knowing as you go through this, all the stuff they're referring to, but they're dancing around it. I'd love to say that GW would not go after you, but you know that they're going to try it. They probably would. Anyway, armor type, this is a 5+ armor save. If it is your general, 1 cave goblin unit without any madgets gain the ambush rule. That'd be pretty cool. Also, all units consisting of only cave goblins in whereas inspiring presence radius gain the fast cav special rule without the free reform, so they just get to move around all crazy. That's really cool. I like that item. That really lets you use something really interesting. So I like that. That's a great idea. Spirit Tattoos, 75 points. Savage Orcs only. I'm not going to do this Neander Orc thing. Only Savage Orcs in Ware's unit have a 5+ ward saves. Okay, these are just the regular tattoos. Lots of points for this, but that was always a great item anyway. Well, yeah. Magical Banners. Sork. Is it Lork and Sork now? Is that how it works? Okay. Sork's Soul Totem grants magical resistance D6. Okay, that's just like the banner that was before. It makes all the magic things mundane. Banner of Arcane. Forest Goblins in Ware's unit have poison attacks. For only 25 points. Good. This is again before like the spider banner, but whatever. And instead of, what is this? Oh no, sorry. Banner of, not Arcane, Banner of Arachne. Okay, that makes more sense. Ironhide Banner grants ward save of 5+ against shooting. Okay. Enchanted items. Snarla's Hoof, 40 points. Orc General mounted on War Boar or Boar Chariot only. Boar Riders, not Brutal Boar Riders. I bet those are savages. Count as core choices, and Ware and his entire unit have +1 movement and can't be combined with any other magic items, granting positive modifications to movement or swift stride. So that's neat. I mean, +1 movement, not major huge, but always nice to get that extra speed in there. Then we have the Trinket of Save Stealing. Goblins only. If wearer suffers a wound, it can use armor, ward save, regenerates the saves, as well as magic resistance of that model that inflicted it. So, okay, so you're stealing that of the other side. So, that makes kind of an interesting goblin build, where you want to have this guy with this, who's just going to go out there and challenge the biggest, baddest thing from their side, and say, hey, thanks for the 2+ armor save, or ward save, or whatever. So, that's kind of interesting. I like that. Really kind of annoying goblin type of thing. So now we're getting into the actual army list and what we have here. The first option here is the Orc War Boss, 130 points. And it looks like all the stats are just like they were before. Movement 4, you know, we have the difference here between the regular Orc, the Black Orc, and the Savage Orc. Everything looking pretty much the same here that I see. Yeah, only up to 100 points in magic items like before. Taking a great weapon is pretty... Oh, we can get lances now. Not just a spear. Unless they kind of combined what a spear and a lance does now. I didn't check that out. But if it is the lance of +2 strength, that'd be pretty damn nice. You can take... Okay, you come with light armor, you can take heavy armor, you can go into Wyvern, all these other cool things. Your Black Orc, same thing, he can go to the plate armor. You can get the same mounts as the other. And if you're a Savage Orc, you can't get armor. And you also can't go in a chariot. Why can't you go in a chariot? Just let him on a chariot. But Wyvern as well. So, okay, that all looks the same. Orc High Shaman, 155 points. I seem to think that those points are the same, too. All the stats are looking the same there as it used to be. So that seems all to be right. You can put them on a warboard, chariot, or Wyvern. And again, you can't put the Savage Orc version, the Neander Orc on a chariot. Come on, guys. Let him. Why not? Give him more options. The Goblin War Boss. This one here, 60 points. That's what it was before. You know, I haven't played Fantasy in like a year and a half or something now. You still remember all these points. Same type of thing. Again, lance, no type of spear. So, again, I'm intrigued whether that's kind of the same thing or not. You can put them on a wolf or onto a chariot if it's a night goblin, onto a big cave gnasher. Ugh. Let's say mangler or something. Forest goblin 1. You can actually give it poison attacks. That's kind of interesting. And you can put on a scutter spider or a spider monster. Now those are the same points. So, or what's this called? Okay, it's the Arachnarok, but it's now like the Archnegiddon spider. Okay, whatever. But where do you think one of these would be the regular spider and then the monster spider? There used to be the giant spider and then the gigantic spider. So I kind of assume that's what this would be. But they're both 20 points. So unless something has changed so that they're basically equally the same, you know, tactics-wise, I don't know why they're the same cost when one used to be a lot more. Goblin High Shaman. Okay, yeah, this is a Goblin Shaman, blah, 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 same stuff. Here's the power mushrooms we're talking about, only on the cave goblins. Again, why not? Okay, I guess fluff reasons the cave goblin shouldn't be on chariots or anything like that because he's trying to go in and out. But even then, the cave goblin should be allowed to be on a spider. He should be able to ride a spider. Come on. The forest ones can. I let him ride like a troll or something like that, right? I guess in this one here too. I mean, I guess I make the assumption that even though they had the power to do whatever they wanted with the book, you want to kind of keep it the same. You want everybody coming from the old fantasy 9th edition to basically seamlessly come across. So you don't want to really be changing a lot. So I have to understand that. Now we're into heroes. You have the orc boss. All these things are looking the same as before. Wyverns. Could they be on Wyverns before? The regular heroes? I can't remember. That's interesting that you can put all of them on Wyverns. I'm pretty sure you couldn't. Maybe in the last book you could. No, because it was only when I got to like the 50% Lords thing that then all of a sudden I could put like double Lords on Wyverns and stuff. So no, yeah, this is new, having heroes on Wyverns. That's pretty cool. I like that. There's a round of applause for that one. But the Orc Shamans, they can't go on Wyverns. They didn't let that happen. Don't know why. Goblin Boss, same type of a thing. They can be a BSB. Yeah, they still call them the Battle Standard Bear. Goblin Shaman, same type of thing going across. And now we get into our core. So we have the Orc Lads. What's going on here? Orc Lads and Orc Brutes. So, Orc Lads, here's where that mark of the boss comes in, where if they're the same, one can get a unit, or a banner rather. Their stats look the same. You can take bows. Or Orc Brutes, just like Biggins. Is that what's going on here? Yeah, 1 weapon skill, 1 strength. 1 tough. Oh, no, not 1 toughness. That's the same. Okay, yeah, 1 strength and 1 weapon. Okay, so the Orc Brutes are the Biggins. Gotcha, okay. So, wait a second. So, Mark of the Boss, if I remember that right, was that 1 unit got to take a special banner. Now, the Orc Brutes have that, but they can always take a banner anyway. So, it looks like that kind of doesn't really super make sense. Maybe I'm missing something there. But either way, it's the same type of thing. You can give them bows, you can give them shields. Only 1 choice only. Come on, let somebody make like a super orc. But, okay, you can give them shields, extra hand weapons, spears. So spears exist. Here they are, at least non-mounted. And shields. And all the usual command is here. You can, right here, this is where you can turn them into savage orcs. And then they can, you have to pay for the huge impaler, so unless I'm missing something, that's probably still not worth it. Ooh, crossbows. So your common orcs can now take crossbows and heavy armor, and that's going to go for your old Dogs of War orcs that you got. They got to have the heavy armor and crossbows. So I like that they have something there where you actually get to use them. So that's pretty nice. Biggins, you get anything crazy? Looks like the same choices. Hand weapons, shields, no bows? I know bows on them would be dumb, but come on, give them the option. Looks like they changed a couple of the points here as well. So shields on these guys are 2 points a model instead of just the 1 it is for regular. I don't know why. I think that should be the 1 point still. You're paying the extra points for the stats already. And now, what is this? On a Savage Orc Biggin, a shield is 3 points per model? That's ridiculous. That is really ridiculous. I don't know why they would do that. I mean, maybe they're trying to force you so that if you are Savage Orcs, again, to be fluffy, don't take a shield because you should be more go, 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 kill. But, come on. Why? It doesn't make any sense here. So, yeah, shields, 3 points on Savage Orc Biggins. Don't know why. Don't like it. Change it. Goblin Runts. So these guys here are just your regular goblins. You can pick, yes, it's a lot just like before. Although if you want the shield version, they're more expensive. Shields must be better now. It must be missing something where shields give something crazy and awesome. Like maybe it's a +1 armor, they're +2 now. Who knows? 3 Stabas. Okay, those must be like your, yeah, those hidden guys from before. May exchange all equipment for shield and short bows. So, again, there must be saying that these shields are freaking awesome. But I don't know why they're making it so expensive. 2 points for a shield and short bow? I mean, I guess you're getting the best of both worlds where they're shooty and they have shields. But, you know, instead of 3 points per model, now you're 5 points per model? I don't really see that one. Night Goblins, okay, Mad Gits, those are the fanatics. Okay, I see what's going on there. They can carry nets. Forest Goblins, they can be turned to skirmishers. That's a cool, nice thing to have in there. They actually have a thrown weapon. I like that. What do the nets do now? At the start of the round of combat, choose one unit in base contact with the unit carrying the nets. Roll a d6 on a 2+. They get -1 strength. And on a 1, we get the penalty. So it's just like the nets were before. No changer there. The Stabber. Yeah, these guys are a lot like before. Supernatural reflexes. I assume that's always strike first. Killing blow. Multiple wounds. I think that's new. Yeah, they didn't have multiple wounds before. Hidden and Mad. Oh, so they have the shambolic rule. So what? So, oh, these are the Mad Gits. Oh, okay, so the Fanatics, yeah, they have the thing. So, of course, yeah, the 2 Fanatics touch, they both die. I gotcha. Hidden and Mad. Oh, now if you come within 8 inches, yeah, that's all the same as before. 2d6. Yeah, okay, so that's all stuff is the same. Goblin Raiders. These are your okay, these are the Spider Riders. Or the Wolf Riders. Yeah, they're all kind of like together here. You say whether they're going to be common or the forest. The Spider Riders actually get Scout. Okay. Is there a reason why? I mean, I'm just looking at this here. And if the regular Wolf Riders get light armor, and then the other side, you're getting Scouts and Strider and poison attacks. And look, well, they are slower as well, so I can kind of see that. The Wolf Riders, yeah, they've always been faster. You know what? That makes sense. I think that's a fair trade-off. One's faster, one gets Scout, which I assume is like the advanced move or something like that. They can have lances and bows, shields. Yeah, that's all making sense. Greenlings. What's a greenling? Really? Okay, snotlings. Okay, we gotcha. Insignificant. That's where that's coming in. The throne model. Now, what'd you do to make these guys worthwhile? Did you try changing something? They're 10 points a model past that. Lots of wounds. Are they... Is there still the rules for like unbreakable? I'd have to maybe go back and find out what insignificant means. But either way, Black Orcs, your Iron Orcs. They have great weapons and everything like before. They automatically come with shields now. You can actually give them the 4+ armor for 2 more points per model. So that's nice, that's actually an option. You know, before they look like they should have a 4+ save. Now at least you can at least give them that, so that's nice. Boar Riders, these ones here, look again like they're pretty much the same. Again, they've got these lances instead of spears. But all the stats seem to be the same as before. And then, yeah, the Savage Orcs, the Neander Orcs version, they can get the additional hand weapon. So, alright. How about the shield? Oh, the shield. 3 points per model for shields. Why are shields so expensive now? Board chariots. Looks like they're the same as before. Wolf chariots. They're a little bit more expensive than before. Free reform. I wonder what that's all about. But they're still the fast. Toughness 4, 3 wounds. Light armor. Get skewer. What's this? Is this a bolt thrower? Oh yeah, it says right there. Ballista. This is a bolt thrower. It's right there. How many points per model? 45. Does it still have the rule where I can like screw up and blow up on a 1? I'm not seeing that, so okay, that's all right. Gnasher Dashers. What are some of these things? Are just fun just to read these new names and try to figure out what these are. With eager mounts. So they're Gnasher Dasher. So these are just your squig hoppers, right? Your shambolic, and your bouncy, with your eager mounts. In future editions, it'd be nice to see like some different upgrades possible for these guys, just because why not? Make them a little bit more interesting. Gnasher Herd, okay, so Squig Herd. Can't be joined by characters, immune to psychology. Gnashers go wild. When Gnasher Herd breaks from combat, blah blah blah. Everything within... Oh, so you don't roll anymore. Just all units within 4 inches take a number of strength 5 hits equal to twice the number of full ranks in the Gnasher Herd. Okay, so that's a new way of doing it. A full rank. So I'm guessing a full rank is at least 5. Alright, sure. Why not? I mean, doing it that way... That way it makes... So sometimes I know before you would take these stupid little squig herds that are just supposed to run up and there's like suicide teams to die and attack things around it. This here now, I mean, when you're just doing the hardly any hits, like, oh yay, you have 1 rank, so you do 2 strength 5 hits, you're not going to see that anymore. So okay, I like that change. Trolls, here's my bread and butter. Oh, they went up in points. 42 points now. Their stats look to be the same. Stupidity, belching, what's the same thing? Yeah, strength 5, armor pierce 6, automatically hits. Okay, you can make them... Oh man, and so they have to pay even more to make them stone trolls. Okay, the river trolls... Do they... Oh, that must be that distracting thing, the -1 to hit. Only units of 9 or less, so no more hordes of river trolls. Oh. And then the stone trolls, what do they do to fix them? Because they're still the same points. Innate defense, 4+. I assume that just means it has a 4+ armor. So 4+ armor on a troll. The old... Stone trolls had a 5+, so a 4+, I can see that and that'll be more worth it. Magic resistance 3, that's higher than it was before too. So these guys all went up in points. They used to be 35 and 45, and now they're 42 and 50. So I mean the difference between the two is less now, but you're paying for these guys. And I mean, the other type of trolls, you're even limited to how big of a size you could take. Oh, wait a second. They're all limited. You could take 1 model. I see how this is formatted now. And may add up to 11 models. So only up to 12. Where's my 18 trolls? They took that away from me. How big can these other... Now I got to go back and see how big the other units can be. So Orc Lads... can be up to 50. Okay, I mean, honestly, 50, that makes sense. How about my goblins, race to go up to 100? Now only max units of 60. That's not enough. It's not enough. My blocks of 100 were gorgeous things. Oh well, times they be a-changin'. Okay, where are we now? The scrap wagon, so the pump wagon. it's looking roughly the same. You have these upgrades, make it armor piercing, +1 strength. Different shambolic. This shambolic name just gets me every time. Get the distracting and the blurry special rules. I wonder what that's all about. I mean, the distracting seems like that's the -1 that hits and melee. Alright, I wonder what the blurry thing is. The giant, they really dropped that down in points. Only 140 points for a giant now. You can take the ward save irregardless of having a shaman, like a savage orc in your list. Looking at the stats, those all seem to be the same. Can you still stuff things in your pants? Oh, they changed this stuff. You can yell, so you win by 2. You can jump up and down. You can pick up. So they really just made pickup really straightforward. So before pickup, you do it, and you can do a whole bunch of crazy things. But now it's just a single pickup, and you can take like D3 wounds. I guess, I mean, you're reducing the point cost, so it makes sense it's going to be worse. Swing, thump, smash, so headbutt. I guess that's good. They're still stubborn like before, leadership 10, so... Again, I don't know the full mechanics of the game now to know whether that's worth it. I like the idea that there still is the randomness to knowing what type of an attack it could do, but it was neat because, I mean, before you could pick up the guy, throw them at another unit. A lot of things, like for this pickup end, you were just dead. You know, it's like, hey, character, I got you, you're gonzo. Now it's not so much that. This model must take a strength and a weapon skill test. For each failed test, the model suffers a hit at strength 6 with a D3 wound. So, I mean, it's still going to be pretty deadly, the characters. Yeah. It's still the idea, though, that if you even had like this invincible vampire lord, you just pick him up, put him in your pants, and you're done with him, right? So, I don't know. Kind of wish that was still there. So rare, the Nasher Wrecking Team, which is going to be a bit your mangler. Lots of points, 80 points for this guy. So the blurry must be the whole thing where you get the light cover with like the -1 hit from shooting. So that must be what that is all about. Yeah, that's what it seems all about. The rock hurler, the stone thrower. I wonder if this even passes, like, in a court of law. Like, oh, yeah, this is different. When it'd be so dead obvious that this stuff is exactly pulled over. You know, that's the thing. You know, you're making these changes for the sake of protecting yourself. I don't think you're protecting yourself at all. When, I mean, 95% of this stuff is exactly the same. The Goblobber. Oh, how they changed this one, I wonder. Add 1 common orc for an extra wound. So Goblin Slingshot. This is a catapult, blah blah blah. Range 12 to 60. A 1-inch template. I wonder if they don't even have the 1-inch templates. I mean, you have to get that little goblin guy that comes with it. But I guess assumed you have it. Okay, yeah, it seems like it's pretty much the same. The Arachnarok, the Arachnageddon Spider. Same points, same wounds. Stubborn 6, Web Launcher. Is the Web Launcher any better now? This is a catapult with falling profile, 636, 3-inch template, strength 3. So what? I think it was like strength 1 before. Hitting targets suffer D3 to movement. In initiative. Okay, yeah, so that's the web launcher is better now, so that's good. I could see that being worthwhile. Avatar of the Green Gods. Oh, I bet you that's that thing from Forge World that's like the rock monster. Yeah, that must be what this thing's supposed to be. Whoa, become a BSB? I never looked into the rules of what that thing was before when it was Forge World, so I don't know if it's new now, but green gods charge you. Green gods hate you. This is different and new. Crush attack, impact attacks. Oh, I mean, it has 7 wounds. It's on a 100 by 100 base. So smaller base than the Arachnarok. That's an interesting little thing that's kind of helping everything around you. I like that one. Mounts, you got your Vern. It's pretty much the same as before. Cave Gnashers, all these other things. Looks like it's all the same. And your reference sheet and your change log. And there's the thing. So, you know, guys, I kind of went into this kind of expecting to see a lot of stuff different, but for the most part, it's all the same. It's, you know, you basically took your 8th edition Orc and Goblin book, copy and paste, couple of little tweaks, and that's really it. So, I mean, the funniest changes, of course, in these things, just all the names. Otherwise, they're really just all the same. Probably the biggest, most impactful change I see is the limit to the size of the units. I'm trying to think whether that's actually good or bad for the game. I mean, to me, I was always saying before that I'd rather see the rules change to discourage taking hordes than actually implementing limits on them. Because, hey, if you're ever using these rules for a larger game, then come on, if I want to take a unit of 200 goblins, let me, right? I got the special... Ooh, special characters! There were no special characters in here. So they must have gotten rid of all the special characters. I guess you would have to, because if, again, you're trying to avoid the IP, you have to completely change these guys. They're completely the intellectual property. I mean, all this stuff really is, but their backstory and everything. So that's interesting that you'd lose all the special characters. So whereas we'd always talked about back in Fantasy about whether, you know, should you be using special characters or not, now they're all gone. Kind of really takes a chunk out of it, really breaks it down to its core game, but it's kind of sad seeing all these guys gone. So maybe there's another thing, maybe the special characters will come out later, but yeah, so there you go, guys. There's my reaction to the new book. I'm hoping that they make things more unique in the future. If I was to give more suggestions, you know, just make up more units, right? Have fun with this. This is Orcs and Goblins. You know, set it up so that you can have things mounted on other types of monsters, give more weapon options, invent new units. You know, that's going to be the real best thing from the people having control over these books. Sure, like we said, you want to take the people from 8th edition, bring them over to 9th age, but at the end of the day, you still need this book to go somewhere, and so if you just save it as this, it's going to get boring, so you're going to have to find a way to progress this, and yeah, I mean, hopefully somebody gives me a head up when the next version of this comes out with that, and I can maybe look at that too. But either way, guys, thanks for watching, and if you are playing 9th edition, I hope you love it. Bye.